Alrighty, so my New Year's resolution for 2025 was to watch every single piece of Star Wars media. And I did end up doing it by the end of the year. I watched every single movie, I watched every single show, aside for a few, but we'll get into it on this list. And I'm going to be ranking them as promised on the channel many moons ago. And just a quick background. Been doing YouTube for a little bit, so if you feel like sticking around, hey, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I'm gonna be around, all right. I'll be the new cockroach of YouTube. You'll be seeing me in the next couple decades, all right. I'll be a millionaire by then. Okay, so this will age like a fine wine, as I'm sure it will. Other than that, my background in Star Wars: grew up as a young kid, watched the Clone Wars, got a lot of nostalgia for it. That's gonna come into play. Big Maul guy, so anything with Maul gonna get aura points. Just saying it as it is. Full biases put on the table. And yeah, that's sort of my background. Love the first 6 Star Wars films. Don't like the rest of them. I don't mind Rogue One. I don't mind Solo. I have my own tier list for everything there. Go ahead and watch those. I also have a review of every single Star Wars, the Clone Wars episode from season 1. Maybe I'll reboot that series at some point. But yeah, that's basically the background here. Big Star Wars guy, and if you can't tell from the background, big Lego guy, specifically Star Wars. All right, so with that being said, let's just get into the tier list here. Let's just explain it. GOAT is going to be reserved for the one, the only show that I believe is the #1 show in Star Wars. And it might get controversial, okay? I've been going back and forth with it. That's part of the reason why I haven't uploaded this tier list. I've really had to think about it, and I really wanted to get what's it called, recency bias out of the way. So most of these shows I haven't seen at least within a month. So there's no sort of like I'm just coming off that high. It's sort of just like remembering all the things that went into the show. I did a lot of reviews for most of the shows, but I didn't do them for all of them, as sometimes I just like watching shows and enjoying them. You know, just like sipping the nice little ice cold aqua while you're just watching some nice Star Wars. And then I forgot to make the review. You know, it is what it is. Maybe I'll review them in the future. But with that being said, GOAT is going to be reserved for the one, the only. Must watch is going to be any show I strongly recommend. They're 9 out of 10s. Fantastic. If you're into Star Wars, if you're not into Star Wars, if you want to get into Star Wars, must watch is there. Great is sort of like if you're fiending for a Star Wars show. Good is you can watch it. It's probably going to be a good time. You're not really going to be disappointed. You're not really going to be that upset unless you're trying to like nitpick things. Which, hey, fair play to all my nitpickers, all right? I'm with you. I've been a nitpicker before. You know, hard R. I've been there. I mean, it's alright is reserved for it's alright. You know, if you watch it, I understand. I mean, in my case, I will think it's kind of mid. You know, you could watch it, you could not watch it, and your life is probably going to still be the same. Not good is going to be reserved for shows that are just not fucking good. Ew is going to be reserved for shows that you shouldn't watch and that are terrible. And hashtag not my Star Wars is going to be reserved for shows that are so bad, so rank, so yucky. Don't watch them. I don't consider them Star Wars. They should not be considered Star Wars by a large portion of the fan base, in my personal opinion. Okay, that being said, let's get into it. You might see a show got duplicated here for some reason. It happens in, post-production. It is what it is. Obviously, I'll be ranking these. Let's get to 2 that I didn't watch, but I have a trustworthy friend. A shout out to my boy in England. Right, not sure if he wants his name to be known, but, if you ever saw this video, I'll let it be known in the description. But I talk with him sometimes about Star Wars recently. Shout out to the homie. He has watched Star Wars The Resistance. If you have watched Star Wars The Resistance, my heart goes out to you. You know, F in the chats for you, okay? Full respect. I don't know what war you had to endure. I don't know what battles you may have faced, but I know they were fierce, okay, to get through this show. Yeah, it just does not look good. Resistance, I think it's based during the Rey Skywalker era. Just get it out. Get it out. It's not my Star Wars. Don't care. I literally, anything that could have happened in that show, if you don't know, Force Awakens onward, that's not Star Wars in my opinion. That's some sort of Space Wars garbage. That's like a spin-off of Star Wars. That ain't my Star Wars, okay? So yeah, anything in that era, get the fuck out of here. The other one, why the fuck is that there? Okay, ignore this. Where is, there it is, Young Jedi Adventures. I did not watch this one. I am not a pedophile. I am not a Diddy. Whoa, gotta be careful with certain words on YouTube. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be careful of that one. Might be editing that out in post. Maybe, we'll see. Yeah, we, I like women of age. I'm just not a, baby oil specialist, if you will. So I did not watch Young Jedi Adventures. Outside of those, there might be some Lego ones I'm missing here. There is a Lego one. I kind of consider all the Lego ones to sort of be under one family, because at the end of the day, they're kind of marketed to kids. They're fun and goofy, and they're not meant to be taken seriously. So I kind of took the best Lego show out of all the Lego shows. So that's why that's on the list. That's a lot of groundwork laid out. We're getting back into it. Let's start with something nice, because I already see some shows that are going to piss me the fuck off. Strap in, this might be a long one. We're going to go with, you know what? Let's go with something a little controversial, okay? To lay the fucking tone of the video. Tales of the Empire. Okay, now this might lower my reputation or gain reputation, depending on who you are and how you view me after this pick. I actually thought Tales of the Empire is pretty good. Listen. Okay, listen. Are some of the other shows of the same variety better than it? Yes. Genuinely, I think Tales of the Empire is good. You cannot tell me with a straight face the General Grievous in Tales of the Empire is not the most aura fucking General Grievous you've ever seen. Okay? That is the best General Grievous. Great fucking moments when he's laughing right after he kills that lady's mom. Just, oh my aura, dude. Holy fuck, I've never been more terrified of General Grievous in my life. Makes his loss to the Gungans, look like a fluke at the end of the day. Maybe in the rematch he beats the Gungan, alright? But, yeah, outside of that, I get it. The, what's her name? Morgan, I want to say. It starts with an M, I'm pretty sure. I think her name's Morgan. Might be something else. Yeah, I think it's Morgan Elsbeth. I think that's a little bit of a ball knowledge thing right there. I think it's Morgan Elsbeth. You got to see her backstory, which now that I've watched Ahsoka, after watching Tales of the I watched Ahsoka then Tales of the Empire. The backstory actually kind of fits. So if you want my personal recommendation, watch Ahsoka, then watch Tales of the Empire, because I think it's a little bit better. Because during Ahsoka, you're probably like, who the fuck is this chick, outside of being a Night Sister who has aura? She actually does have a pretty decent background. You get Admiral Thrawn. Admiral Thrawn's sick. At least there's good highlight moments in every episode. Even the Barriss Offee, I think her name is. Sometimes I say Offree. I'm pretty sure it's Barriss Offee. You get her tale after the imprisonment when Anakin dog walks her in the fight against the tree. After Anakin struggled a little bit. Okay, we can be honest here. But yeah, she got sent into Grand Inquisitor stuff. That stuff was cool. I thought that shit was cool. I don't know why people... When I was going into it, I was under the impression that it was going to be bad and, everyone disliked it. I genuinely thought it was pretty aight. I thought it was pretty aight. And then I saw Grand Inquisitor and I was like, yo, this is sick. I saw General Grievous and I was like, yo, this character's sick. I saw fucking Admiral Thrawn. This is awesome. Now, there's a few nitpicky things you can say about it, like the forest burning down, and that's the reasoning for the Ahsoka moments in The Mandalorian. Is a little weird and just out of nowhere, but it tells a okay story with okay reasonings, and I thought it was sick. Now, the last, 2 episodes didn't give a fuck. I mean, the one where she betrayed that other Inquisitor, I thought that was aight. And then the one after that where the Maze stuff, I just didn't give a fuck. That stuff was lame. But 5 out of 6 ain't too bad. We're going to put it in good. If you don't watch it, you're probably not going to, have a whole different life view. But I do think it's pretty good. I do think it's good. I think it's a good, solid show. We move on. Next one. Let's get a stinker out of the way. Book of Boba Fett. Ew, this is disgusting. Who the fuck? Genuinely, whoever wrote this should be banned from writing any film ever again, unless that was the former head at Disney Star Wars, Leslie Headland. I think that's her name. If that's her fault, then more power to you. I get it. You know, you might have been handcuffed to the chair. I get it, right? But Book of Boba Fett, it had something cool where it's like Boba Fett survives the Sarlacc pit, and then he trains with Tusken Raiders, and it was sort of like building up to be something aight. And then 2 of the 6 episodes are not even of Boba Fett, and it's of the Mando, so they should have just been Mando episodes. AA. And then the other, like, 2 of the 4 were backstory on the Tusken Raiders and Boba Fett. Then 1 of the 4, that wasn't those 2, ended up being them dying. And then the last one is, like, references to them, but it doesn't fucking matter because they're all dead, you know? And it's like, oh, Boba Fett was training these Tusken Raiders in his way, and these Tusken Raiders could have been cool, and then they weren't, because they all got murked. So what the fuck was the point in us learning about the backstory? You could have said you could have had Boba Fett survive, be the emperor of the cantina or whatever it is, the fucking palace leader, and him just say, oh yeah, I survived, and you know, I got through with Tusken Raiders, and have the Tusken Raiders be part of the crew or whatever, instead of the fucking pig boys. What are their names? Oh, I know them. I can't remember them off the top of my head. The pig guys. It'll probably come to me. But regardless, other than that, it did everything else wrong. The dialogue didn't make any sense. Fennec Shand was fucking horrible. God, I don't want to see her in the Maul show, but I know they're gonna bring her back in the Maul show, man. I know she's gonna make an appearance, man. God damn it. But I do think the Book of Boba Fett is just a bunch of missed opportunities and nothing actually there. There was nothing there that was cool other than the Rancor scene, and even the Rancor scene makes it not look like Star Wars. It's like a fucking alien Godzilla show at that point. It's not even fucking Star Wars. It's just big beast fighting machinery. And then it gets angry. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. There's the Vespa chase scene. There's a lot of bad things. Hey, there's the classic. Oh, I got him. The wicked aim, the Han Solo improvement. Jesus Christ. I could go on about that show. It's pretty fucking disgusting. It is still Star Wars. Like, missed opportunities, provided nothing, but it didn't do anything wrong other than maybe tarnish Boba Fett's character. Fennec Shand was already fucking terrible. Doesn't really lower her stock. It kind of keeps her at the same. And nobody else in the show other than Mando was really affected by anything bad in the show. We got some Pikes, I guess. Oh, and fucking Cad Bane died. Apparently that happens in Legends or the comics, so I'm going to assume they just had to implement that at some point. I don't actually think it was done that poorly. I just don't like seeing my boy Cad Bane die because he's got aura. That's just a bias, but I don't think it was like that bad. I mean, Boba Fett winning in a 1v1 against Cad Bane, I don't think it's that far. Like, Cad Bane's sick as fuck, and he did win the duel. So he was correct in that matter. So Boba Fett had to get fucking creative. I just think it was a little goofy. They kind of forced way too many things into it to make that scene kind of not as good. But I don't think it's like the worst Star Wars death of all time. It is an aura loss, though. We can all admit that. We move on. We'll do Tales of the Underworld. This show is a must-watch. Dude, Listen. The Asajj Ventress one, the Asajj Ventress half isn't the greatest. It's a good filler. It's a good, like, okay, I'm getting strapped in, get the seatbelt on, okay, this is alright, let me get a drink, let me get a burger on the grill, let me put some chicken nuggies in the oven, you know, while this is cooking, let me start building a Lego set, and then you get into Cad Bane. And the Cad Bane arc is, oh my god, it's a fucking masterpiece. It blows my mind that was released only in 2025 last year. Because it was genuinely like, dude, the Cad Bane, those 3 episodes, might be the best thing Star Wars has ever created, outside of the Goat Show. Um, but those 3 episodes are like 9.9s out of 10, and the only reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 is because they weren't longer. And that's always a good thing. That's always a good thing. You always want to have more. So sick character. They could technically continue on the Cad Bane bloodline based on the ending. Thought it was fucking amazing. The Asajj Ventress parts are like 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. 6 is being generous. Let's, 5.5, 5 out of 10. They're not bad. They're not great either. The new hairstyle for Asajj is pretty fucking ass. And they just throw Quinlan Voss in fucking everything, apparently. He's in like every spin-off show now. I don't know why. But yeah. I'm gonna put it. Yeah, Tales of the Underworld is a must-watch. I genuinely think if you're like a Star Wars fan or you want to get into Star Wars but you don't want to watch these shows that are hour-long episodes, dude, watch Tales of the Underworld. Okay, watch Tales of the Underworld. You'll get what I mean. It's sick. It's great. It's a great example of what Star Wars is. We move on to. Okay, we just did a good one, so let's be fair. Acolyte. This is not my Star Wars. Get it out. Back of the line. Actually, yeah. That's how bad it is. Acolyte getting the money it got to be made boggles my mind. There are so many problems with the script. There are so many problems with the characters. There are so many problems trying to explain this to a friend or explain this to someone you're trying to be like, hey, so this is what the show's about. It's about 2 sisters that swap souls, and, there's this Sith guy who's doing this thing, and then that guy's actually got another master who's telling him what to do, and that guy's in the background. It's a whole fucking conundrum. It's not great to market. It's not great to advertise. It's not great for any which way to do. It's terrible everywhere. It's awful. And that's not even getting into the problem with the actual fucking story. Oh my god, is it terrible. Holy dog shit. I could go from the rock temple burning down. That doesn't make sense. Oh, but it's an alien planet. Oh, okay. The fucking sister soul swapping. Oh, okay, but they're aliens. Oh, okay. They're the virgins of the Force, but that's the fucking point of Anakin Skywalker. So you literally waited how long? Like what, 20 years to just copy the same script? Oh, but now they're women and there's 2 of them? Oh, but it's different because they're witches. Oh, you know what else has witches? Dathomir, one of the sickest planets in Star Wars. Dude, you copy and paste. You literally got the test answers, copy and pasted them, and you fucked up the answers still. You got every question wrong. What are you doing? You copied the answer sheet, and you got every single question wrong. And the only good thing, there's maybe 2 good things about the show, and that's, we're getting real generous here. The introduction to Kymir's helmet, where it like stopped the lightsaber thing. It's basically Beskar but better. Cool idea. In a terrible show, terrible context, everything. The other thing, the whip lightsaber. Some people are into that. I don't mind it, but if I'm being fair, those are cool ideas. Everything else is terrible. Kymir getting fucking bicycle kicks by Soul. Soul basically being a fucking young Jedi watcher. Like, come on now, man. You can't be serious with this shit. It's not my Star Wars. Dude, Acolyte is so bad. We move on. We're moving on, man. Fucking goddamn. I could rant for days about that shit. It's so ass. Let's go on to... I need to do something good here. The best Lego Star Wars adaptation, in my opinion, Rebuild the Galaxy. Genuinely, I think it's a great show. If you're a Lego fan, I think it's a great show to watch. If you're a Star Wars fan, I think it's a great show to watch. If you want to get into either, I think it's a great show to watch. If you got children, put it on for the boys, That's what I'm talking about. Rebuild the Galaxy is sick. It's got a great plot. Dude, Acolyte's making me fucking crash out, man. It did the same thing in terms of copied an answer sheet as Acolyte, but it did it in the best way possible. Made Goofy and decent writing while copying shit from the OG era. It literally, I think it's, how many episodes is it? I think it's 2 seasons, and I want to say it's either 3 episodes a season or it's 6 episodes a season. Regardless, each episode is basically almost like a short form version of a movie. You know, like the first episode, I'm pretty sure, is like a different take on A New Hope. Then there's like the Return of the Jedi stuff, where or Empire Strikes Back, I should say, where it's like he's not your father, I'm your father. There's like sort of that sort of dynamic going on with some of the big bads. It does a really good parallels. It has great characters in it. It brings in all themes from Star Wars, like the Brickheads. I thought all the inclusions were sick. I thought that great animation. I could not sing the praise of the show any higher. Great. I thought the Lego sets in general were great. Like the actual ones they made, the Hot Rod Speeder I don't have. It's in the checkout cart. We're thinking about it. Okay, maybe on payday. But yeah. No, it's just sick. Dark Falcon, you got fucking the Mando Lando. Fuck, what was his name? I think it is just Mando Lando. That's baby Grogu, baby. Fuck it. Oh man, dude, there's so many good things about the show. You got Sith, Obi-Wan, you got fucking Darth Revan. Dude, it is chef's kiss. And it even makes fun of the sequels. You can't ask for a better Lego adaptation than Rebuild the Galaxy, in my opinion. The other ones are pretty good. Yoda's Chronicles, honorable mention. Great OG, fucking, I almost said film. Great OG show from back in the day. And then there's also, it's the Trip with the Robots, Trip with the Droids, whatever it's called. That's also Tales of the Droid Adventures or some shit like that. That's also a good shout out. That one's pretty good just for like kids to watch. But Rebuild the Galaxy, I think, is like a all umbrella encompassing, you know? You can be from a large portion of the fan base and still enjoy it, in my opinion. We're going to move on. Great show. Man, there's so many good ones, man. Why is there so many fucking dog shit ones? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Star Wars Visions. Technically, I have not watched the second season. I did watch a large portion of the first season. I mostly skipped to just the fights, just being honest, transparent. Love to be honest and transparent here. And realistically, that's what you're watching Visions for. Visions is more about like the animation and the cool things you can do with the Star Wars idea than it is about like the storyline of each episode, if that makes sense. It's almost like a Love, Death, and Robots, but like a Star Wars take on it, which is kind of cool in its own right. And the general consensus, from my understanding, is that everyone sort of says, yeah, it's cool, but I'm not going to watch it. And it's kind of unfortunate, because it's kind of a gem, in a way. I'm going to put it as good. I'm not going to say it's as good as Tales of the Empire. It's pretty good, though. You know, it's got good fights, great animation. Some of them are a little bit more kid-oriented, and then the other ones are a little bit more like, that's the fucking, what is it, Afro Samurai-esque, you know, in terms of animation. So yeah, it's got sick episodes. It's worth a watch. I'd recommend it, but I don't know if I'd go ahead and rewatch the seasons. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll watch season 2 at some point. I just haven't got around to it. We move on. We're going on with another controversial one that might ruffle some feathers. Star Wars Rebel. It's alright. I mean, it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Now, I know what some people are probably thinking, and here's where we get into a split here. I did not enjoy Rebels as much as I think a lot of people did. I'm also noticing a lot more people are shit-talking Rebels and sort of shitting on Rebels. I've never been a Rebels guy. Never a fan of the animation. I only watched it for my first time in 2022. I really did not fuck with any of the characters. I didn't give a fuck about Kanan. Ezra, I didn't care for. Sabine, I also thought was just kind of whiny. What was the other one? Hera, I mean, she, shorty bad, but Zeb was probably the only, like, standout, okay, this guy's actually sick. Other than that, I can't forgive them for what they did to my boy, Hondo Tanaka. I can't fucking believe they butchered my boy. How are they gonna make him look like a fat fuck like that, bro? Get the fuck out of here. I think at some point they also had some, the sisters. I don't remember their name. They were fucking annoying. They made every sort of, other than Thrawn, the cool characters they introduced. Thrawn, Bendu, Zeb. And that's honestly it, man. The rest of them are kind of just shit. Can we just be real? Hux, he's alright. I think that's his name, right? Hux? I'm not confusing him with fucking the guy from the sequels, right? I don't fucking remember. Regardless, Jinja Mutt Chops boy, he's alright. But, like, dude, all the fucking admirals, or whatever they're called, the officers, they all are purposely ugly as fuck. Why? Like, dude, the men are just old, fat, fucking ugly looking bastards. And then the women have schnozzes looking like Nanny McPhee's ugly form. What are we doing, man? Let's get some fucking baddies. This, we gotta raise the kids up right, We gotta, hey son, go look at Harrison Dula, There you go. There you go. Look at Asajj Ventress. Oh, there you go. There you go. Little Timmy, Look at fucking Ayla Secura, Look at some of these look at Padme Amidala. Look at, you gotta have these, right. You gotta have these characters for the boys to raise them young and be like, this is what you should be looking for in your woman in the future. You know what I mean? Anyways, but yeah, outside of, like, dude, just all the characters were ass. And I know the Vader, again, shout out to my boy. He was teaching, he kind of, like, lore dumped on me, and he kind of taught me the ways. He showed me some ball knowledge. They made the Vader look like the one from concept art from way back in the day when they did, like, posters. I think back in the 80s or whatever for Star Wars. They did it for the Vader, and that's why his mask looks a little more indented, a little bit more angrier and shit. I didn't like it. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm a big Vader guy. I didn't like that Vader. I think Rebels Vader might be one of the most hideous Vaders I've ever seen. Like, it's up there, man. It's pretty bad looking in my opinion. But other than that, they butchered my boy Darth Maul. They made his horns smooth, and they made him just not. I've done sort of a rewatch of the Maul episodes. I understand a bit more of the Maul situation. From memory, I was thinking, dude, they, like, butchered his character. They didn't really write it properly. The ending of his storyline's cool, but that build up to the ending kind of pissed me off. I rewatched a little bit more. I'm like, okay, this makes a little bit more sense. I understand it a little bit more. It's a little bit cooler than I thought. But in my opinion, outside of the Maul stuff, because the Maul is really Rebels Heights, outside of the Maul stuff, not a big fan of the other shit. Inclusion of Rex, Wolf, and Gregor, cool. I just felt like there was a lot of missed interactions we had there. The separate, like, there's cool highlight moments, for a nice little YouTube short edit, or a nice little TikTok edit, or a quote edit, or something. But the meat and potatoes of actually sitting through and watching the show, I can't just actively say this is good. A lot of it's filler, a lot of it doesn't matter, and a lot of it just has, it's just worse Clone Wars. Like, if you're gonna watch a show that has a bunch of episodes and a bunch of seasons that are 20 minutes a pop, just watch fucking Clone Wars, But if you're done Clone Wars, Rebels is there, it's aight. I get why people love it, and I get why people are into it. So if you are coming from, like, a Rebels fan base, I get it. I know why you like it. It's just not for me, man. It's just not for me. Maybe it's a preference thing, but yeah. Anyways, we move on. The Mandalorian show. This might be a hot take as well. It's aight. And I know what some people are thinking. Well, yeah, season 3 was pretty bad. That's not why. Dude, dare I say it? Season 3 might have been the best season. I'll push that narrative. Hey, we're going to start that on the channel. Season 3 Mandalorian just might be the best season. Full transparency. Very biased towards Mandalore. Love Mandalore. Love it. Great planet. Love the planet. Great idea. You know, Moff Gideon and the Chambers, out of all of the shows of trying to excuse the sequels, Moff Gideon's arc where he's trying to clone himself and he's trying to like find a way that he can clone himself with midichlorians cells so that he can basically be a Jedi or a Sith. Sick idea. I think that is the best way you can take on how we get to and somehow Palpatine returned. That is the best way, in my opinion. You know, I played the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. Exegol is not that great, in my opinion. Interesting planet. I don't give a fuck about, like, Palpatine cloning a bunch of Snokes and all this shit. The Moff Gideon getting the cloning tech and figuring it out and, you know, trying to work on his own thing. I think that's the coolest way you could have done it. And some of these other shows sort of try to excuse it as well. I really think that's a cool way of doing it. I thought Paz Vizsla's sacrifice was kind of cool. Little kind of goofy, where he didn't really need to sacrifice himself, but he did it to buy more time. I thought that was fine. The only really stinker part of season 3 was maybe the very, very beginning, where we got a very corny joke where that head fell on someone, and he's like, and Mando's like, well, that's using your head. But dude, season 1, in my opinion, kind of boring. Not that it's good. It's there. I watched it the first time when it came out, thought it was boring. I rewatched it last year, thought it was boring. Season 2, half of season 2 is just straight up boring, in my opinion. The first couple episodes are just filler junk that I just don't give a fuck about. Taking the space frog to somewhere else. Mando getting upset because he's on a boat and he finally found Mandalorians, but he's like, you guys aren't my people. And he just takes his child and runs away. It's just like, what are we doing, man? Like, I just don't like it. The Bill Burr stuff was kind of cool. I thought his character was really well done in the second season. Season 3, I really, really loved Mandalore. I love the Darksaber stuff. I thought that was sick. Season 2 also had that Fennec Shan shit. Terrible. But at least we got, like, Boba Fett probably in his best live-action adaptation. Even that had some goofy scenes, though, because he hit the wrong one, and he's like, oh, I meant to hit the other one. And it still did the right thing. It's just, what are we doing with some of the dialogue options, you know? It's like when you're in a video game, you're playing an RPG, there's 4 options for dialogue. 3 of them, like, make sense and they progress the actual dialogue. And then the 4th one is just like, dude, who on God's green earth ever says that in this position? And then fucking Boba Fett says it every time. It's just annoying. Dark Troopers are cool. The Dark Trooper Luke Skywalker scene was cool. Yeah, the transition in season 3 wasn't that great because it didn't explain anything, but obviously that's in Book of Boba Fett. But I genuinely thought season 3 is probably the better season. I still think outside of the Mandalore stuff, I just don't care about anything of Din Djarin or Grogu. I think Grogu partnering up with Din Djarin instead of Luke is dumb and doesn't make any sense. I think Din Djarin's loyalty to Mandalore is cool. I just don't get why we had so many fucking scenes with him taking his helmet off. The whole idea is that he's from the ways of old and he has to follow these traditions. Why is he taking his helmet off whenever he fucking can? You know? Oh, he has to take it off in season 2 during the fucking, the sickest officer in probably the whole Star Wars. The one that yapped at to Bill Burr. Talking about, the Cinder Squad or whatever it was. Takes off his helmet there. No repercussions for his fucking bloodline or whatever it was. Took it off in season 1. I think season 3 might have been the only time he didn't take it off. But even then, it's like, dude, I don't know. I just thought it was weird. You know? It's like if you had a show about Master Chief and he just takes off his helmet. Just saying. You know, just saying. People who know ball know what I'm talking about when I reference that. But, yeah, pisses me the fuck off. But, yeah, it's just annoying, you know? And he does things without reasoning. Like, why all of a sudden is he helping out Grogu? You know? Why does it take an assassin droid fucking 30 minutes to find Grogu on the ship? You know? It's just, there's so many weird things that happen in the show that I know is nitpicky. Again, nitpicker over here. Hey, hand up. I'm a nitpicker sometimes. I just didn't like it. I felt like for an hour-long episode, there was way too many things where I was just like, dude, what the fuck is this? For the first two seasons. Season 3 had the similar things of season 1 and 2, but I just thought it was cooler because it was it was Mandalorians versus the Empire. I think that concept's just sick. Maybe that's a hot take. But yeah, general consensus I hear is that everyone dogs on season 3. I generally thought season 3 is pretty fucking good. Compared to the rest. Even like the side arc with the scientist and shit, I thought was cool. Now the ending to that arc was kind of ass, but the build up to it was kind of cool. And if you take your own interpretation, like you can interpret it as she was just masterfully manipulating the situation. So you know, there's reasons to like the show in season 3, in my opinion, over the other two. And I just don't think, I think all of the seasons have the same problems, in my opinion. The Lizzo and Jack Black shit, genuinely, I don't even know who the fuck Lizzo is, other than she's fat. That's it. And when I genuinely, like, had to do a double take, I was like, wait, is that fucking Lizzo? Who the fuck is that? Who is this fat bitch? That's literally the first reaction I had. And then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh my god, that's actually Lizzo. But the Jack Black stuff, like, they didn't play a big role. A little bit of iRobot fucking references there, where he's kicking the super battle droid. Super battle droid takes a run for it. Ugnaughts. Come on now. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I'm defending season 3 more than I'm glazing the show, but yeah. I just don't think it's that good. I'd probably rewatch Rebels before rewatching the Mando. Just honestly. You know, I'd probably recommend Rebels over Mando, now that I think about it as well. You know, Mando's, it's a steep ride. You know, at least with Rebels, you can sort of just like watch it, sit back, relax, build a set, look when you need to. Mando, you kind of need to be locked in. We move on to The Bad Batch. Another mid-show, to be honest with you. It just went on too long. It really, really just went on too long. I might even put it in not good. We're gonna put it in it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It is the best animation of that style. Season 1, if this was just season 1, I reckon I'd put it here. It's pretty good in season 1. You know, you get the fall of what's that place called? Camino. You get Cad Bane. You get cool, like actually a cool thing. I'm pretty sure that's in season 1 with Fennec Shand. Yeah, Omega's kind of cringe, but outside of that, it's pretty good. But I'm gonna put it here, man. It's tough because I really really like the squad, but dude, it's so doesn't make sense at some point. You know, season 1, all right, there's some filler, but there's some cool ideas. Okay, this is cool. Season 2, R.I.P. Tech. You get Commander Cody for a few seconds. You know, you get Wolf in season 3. But dude, the main problem with the show is that the main cast doesn't know what the main cast is, and that's what really annoys me. You know, the original cast of Hunter, Echo, Tech, Wrecker, Crosshair, and Omega, like, they're all clones, and there's sort of like this parent-daughter thing going on with Hunter and Omega, and then that changes in like season 2 to, yeah, like a little bit more of a sister dynamic, and then it also has a little bit more parent dynamic during fucking filler episodes, and then in season 3 it's full on like weird. Like at moments you're kind of like, does Hunter see this as like a sister or like a fucking daughter? Like, what's going on here, man? I'm getting lost with where everyone stands. You know, Tech and Echo effectively serve the same role of hacking into systems. Tech was just smarter, I guess. Crosshair was the coolest, because he was the one that was like the rogue one where the chip malfunctioned and everything. And Wrecker's the tough guy. But at some point, it's just like, dude, none of these characters, like, their thing doesn't matter. You know, Wrecker being the muscle, how often are we really needing Wrecker in these episodes, you know? He could have just been a red clone and done the same shit, pretty much. You know, there's a few moments where he's lifting some heavy shit. You could have just had a guy use a grapple or some shit like that, you know? Like, I don't know. It just felt like the dynamic didn't mesh well at all, you know? And that's why I think they sort of forced Echo out at some point and then had Tech die, and now we just don't have a tech expert. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? You know? Like, it's just weird. It's really weird how they did the scripting for it. It just went on way too long, man. I think you had young Kanan in the early season as well. And then we just got into characters who we don't give a fuck about. Ventress showing up to train Omega and then being like, yeah, nah, fuck it, and just leave. It's like, dude, what are we doing, man? And the whole idea with Hemlock having the cloning is cool, but then the lab gets burned down and he never sends any of that information to Palpatine. So the whole sort of main plot doesn't matter because it's erased from history. And it was supposed to explain why Palpatine starts cloning, but then he doesn't start fucking cloning. He can't clone because he never got the information. Like, it's just dumb shit. Like, who wrote this shit? You did a whole fucking circle for no reason. It's just, I don't know. It was a nothing burger at the end of the day, but it could have been cool, but instead it just wanted to be a nothing burger. You know? It had some alright moments with those clone assassins towards the end. Xylo Beasts. But then Omega, like, dude, Omega's like a kid and she just figures out everything and just has, she just has the multi-tool all the time. She's just able to figure out, oh, this is where you hack into the panel. Oh, I've done this shit before. Oh, yeah, my brothers are coming for me. Like, dude, it's just... Back off, man. Like, I don't know. Rubbed me the wrong way. It was weird. So many different dynamics being swapped amongst the cast. Didn't like it. Really didn't like it. We move on. Clone Wars 2003. Finally something good. It's great. It's great. Now, it hasn't aged poorly, but it hasn't aged like a fine wine either. I think it's aged moderately well, you know? Like, it's still great to watch. I think back in the day it probably would have been way higher, but in terms of how Star Wars is, it took everything and amped it to 11. You know, Mace Windu basically being fucking God himself and being able to just beat 1,000 super battle droids within one force push. Sick. But it's a little goofy in terms of context of how the show works. Explaining Grievous's cough, sick. Animation style, sick. The mole people or whatever they were that Anakin fought, where he lost his arm, sick. A lot of the spaceship battles and everything are great. It does reuse, and I get it, it's back in the day, it's old, but, you know, we gotta be fair here. The oldness of the same blaster noise over and over and over and over again, with the same, like, 4 scenes, like, just multiple times during space battles or fights, where it's just the same scene over and over and over and over again, like an anime, and I get it, it's old, and that's the style, but it is sort of jarring at some point. You're just like, all right, can we move on here, boys? You know? But the water section, cool. The Jedi are done justice. Grievous is done an amazing justice. It's great. It's great. I would still recommend people watch it, and it's relatively short. It's kind of just like a movie in a way. I'm pretty sure it's like 3 hours long. I could be misremembering the time there. But I think it's either like 3 or 4 hours long, something like that. But yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. It's great. It's great. It's a great show to watch, you know? Like, I could put this on while building sets, you know? That might be where great is. I'm putting it on while I'm building sets type of great, you know? But yeah, we move on. Tales of the Jedi. Dude, I'm putting it here. I'm putting it here. And this is in order, by the way. So Bad Batch is the worst of all right, in my opinion. And Tales of the Jedi so far is the worst of the good. Um, I wasn't a big Tales of the Jedi guy. Don't give a fuck about Ahsoka's upbringing. There was that one cool moment against the Inquisitor. I'm pretty sure that happened in this. Outside of that, don't care. The Dooku stuff was cool. Oh, the Dooku stuff was so cool. Now that I'm remembering it, we'll put it above Visions. Yeah, big Dathomir guy. So Tales of the Empire gets pretty high up there because of the Dathomir stuff. Again, big Maul guy, big Maul guy. The Night Sisters, the Night Sister Grievous section, I think, is equal to at least half of the Dooku section. And I would say Dooku's already done really, really well in other adaptations. Grievous isn't really done that well other than Revenge of the Sith and some moments in the Clone Wars. I think it does more justice and increases the aura more of General Grievous in Tales of the Empire than the aura of Dooku, which was already pretty fucking high. It's just like, it's sort of like Dooku in Tales of the Jedi is like sprinkles on the cupcake, you know? Tales of the Empire is like the frosting with the sprinkles, with the cherry on top for General Grievous. So that's kind of where I put it. Maybe it's a bit controversial. I know a lot of people view Jedi pretty highly and they view Empire pretty low. I kind of see it as the opposite. They're roughly the same in my opinion. They both have like stinker moments. Dude, the whole backstory of Ahsoka, I couldn't give less of a shit, just being honest. I couldn't give less of a fuck. There was like a tiger involved or some shit. I don't care. Don't care at all. Honestly, I care more about Barriss Offee than Ahsoka's backstory. As weird as that sounds, maybe that's nostalgia speaking, because a lot of my childhood is remembering Barriss Offee, and I had the set with the Swamp Speeder and the OG clone with Barriss Offee. Maybe there's a lot of nostalgia bias in that one. Dude, I just don't give a fuck about Ahsoka's backstory. She's already like 16 in the Clone Wars. That's young enough to start the backstory. You know, I don't need her as a fucking baby or 5 years old. I don't need to see that. I just don't. Maybe that's just me. We move on. The Ahsoka show. I'm gonna put it top of good. It just barely doesn't make great. It just barely doesn't make the cut for great. You know? It really does a lot of things good. For a modern live action Disney show. You gotta think about it. You gotta think about it real hard. A modern live action Disney show. Okay. It is good. It is good. It's got bad moments. And now there's a bunch of controversy with the actor. It's got slow lightsaber fights, which is always a negative in live action. They should never be slow. Bring back the fucking prequel era, okay? Bring back the Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan prime for prime, all right? Bring that back, please. All right? I want the stories of how rigorous the training was for acting and shit. I don't want none of this pussyfooting. Yeah. 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 I want fucking speed. All right? I want aura farming edit moments, okay? The Anakin portrayal by Hayden Christensen, peak absolute cinema. The Clone Wars references, great, fantastic. Sabine Wren, awful, hated that character, everything about her, all of it. And I know some people are probably switching. Maybe they think it's like an actor thing. Maybe they think it's like just a popular thing to do, hate on forced female characters to be force sensitive, whatever. Honestly, I genuinely don't think it's that bad to have Sabine be a Jedi. I know that's a big thing. It is not fun because it's like, oh, okay, another show about a Jedi and an apprentice, and Ahsoka's taking it on, but she failed somehow, and we just never got the story on how she failed. But Sabine being a Jedi, I actually don't think is like the worst, like Force sensitive at least. I don't think is like the worst thing on the planet. It makes sense. And if she fails to become a Jedi, I genuinely think that's better for the Star Wars eco verse. Because I think we see way too many times where it's like someone's Force sensitive, boom, that's a Jedi. Boom, that's an Inquisitor. Boom. It's like, can we just have Force sensitive people that just end up not being a Jedi, and they're just like either bad people, and that this might be spoiler for one of the shows coming up, but can't they just be like not great at being a Jedi or not great at wanting to be a Force user and just stick to their guns? And Sabine being Force sensitive, I think makes sense because in the Mandalore bloodline there is some Force sensitivity. Now I could be wrong because this is going based off like I think Legends, where the Darksaber was made by, I think it was the first Mandalore Jedi. So I'm assuming that Sabine has part of that blood in her veins, but we also know the Force doesn't necessarily work that way as a 1 + 1 = 2. It kind of just picks people. But I think it's like a coherent, that's possible thing. I just think her character is ass. She's bitchy. She bitches and moans. She runs away. She's just good at everything for some reason, but she doesn't want to try. It's just so. Oh my god, you're a fully grown adult doing this, you know? Like, it was one thing in Rebels where it's like she was bitching and whatever, but she's what, like a young teen or something like that? Okay, that's excusable. Dude, she's a fully grown person in Rebel. She's what, like mid 20s? Dude, and you're just, oh, Ahsoka's here. Oh, it's the big ceremony. I'm gonna be riding my speeder bike. Like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? What kind of president are we setting for the children? Okay, no, I'm kidding, but it is just like dumb. It's dumb. I don't like bitchy characters that are just good at everything. Fucking annoys me. Um, she's able to fight Shin Hati. One like, oh my god, man. She can fight Shin Hati, even though Shin's been being trained by someone who actually knows lightsaber techniques and forms. Yeah, that's the shit I mean, man. I don't mind Ahsoka at all. I think they're changing her actor in the season 2 if it ever comes out. I don't mind it too much. Don't really care. No love lost, basically. Um, there's some okay moments, and then there's a lot of moments where it's like, dude, we're dragging this on way too long. Like a lot of the spaceship battles are kind of just trailing on needlessly long. Baylan Skoll is genuinely a good character. Is probably one of the better characters Disney's made is Baylan Skoll. I actually think he's sick. Um, and I thought about it when I rewatched some highlights of Baylan. His stance is very like robotic, and it kind of almost fits his character in a unique way that I can be like, okay, it's cool if he does it, you know? And how he's seeking power. It kind of seems like he's just dropping his apprentice and trying to seek power on the new planet they're on. Ezra coming back. I have no affinity for Ezra. Cool. Admiral Thrawn, sick. Enoch, sick. Morgan Elsbeth is aight. What's it called? The whole like Dathomir home planet I thought was sick. Them needing that giant hyper ring, sick. Chimera, sick. There's a lot of sick things about the show. Hera and her kid, amazing. We love those. I think Mon Mothma was in it. There's some great moments in the show, so I'm going to put it in good. There's a lot of good stuff, there's a lot of bad stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that just skate by. And I think that's a good overall show, and I think averaging all of it out, I put it in the good category. The little fucking armadillo people or whatever they are on that planet, there's some good moments, man. The zombie troopers, death troopers, dude, it's got moments. We move on. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I could rant for literal days about how bad this show is. Dude, this isn't my Star Wars. Genuinely, this isn't my Star Wars. We're putting it... Well, yeah. Yeah, we'll put it here. Dude, it's not my Star Wars. Everything about the Obi-Wan show sucked. There's not one good moment in the whole show. Not one. I already know there's 2 highlight clips you can take. The first highlight is when Darth Vader stops the ship. Mid-air. Sick moment. Alright, ripped it off Starkiller, but I get it. Stops the ship mid-air, brings the ship down, rips open the hull. Cool. The other moment, his mask gets cut off. You didn't kill Anakin, I did. Cool. Outside of those two clips with no context, they're pretty good. Pretty good. Inside context, they are some of the worst written moments I have ever seen someone write into a storyline. Genuinely. Darth Vader invades the Rebel base. Ship starts flying, drags it down, opens the hull. And then the ship behind it just takes off. So you're telling me he can sense they're in a ship. But he coin flipped a Misty and he landed tails. What can you do? What can you do? He can't sense Obi-Wan. What can you do? Oh, but he can sense him when Obi-Wan's on the tiny ship from the big ship when Obi-Wan's flying off to a different area. Makes sense. Oh, his mask gets cut off. Okay, cool moment. They're not supposed to meet. Obi-Wan has forgotten the Force for like 8 years. They're not supposed to meet. And Obi-Wan's strength, where would it come from? Oh, he lost all of his loved ones. He lost his master. He lost his love interest. You know, maybe he's gonna fight for them. Nah. Oh, well, the Jedi are gone. He's gonna fight for the Jedi, for the Resistance, for the Rebellion, so that one day the Jedi Order can come back. Nah. Oh, he's gonna fight for Luke. Dude, Luke. The chosen one. The one he's set to protect. Nah. You know what he needs to think about to get the power to lift 100 boulders with the Force and beat Vader in a 1v1? He needs to think of Princess Leia, the 5-year-old. Dude. What in the young Jedi is that? What the fuck? You might as well have him just whip out the baby oil at this point. Like, what are we doing, man? Jesus Christ. It pisses me off to no end. And then the fight. Obi-Wan lost the fucking ability to use the Force a mere 2 episodes ago. And he's just 1v1ing the most demonic motherfucker in the galaxy right now in Darth Vader? Dude. Get the fuck out of here. Not my Star Wars, bro. Outside of they were on like that grassy planet and the dude picked him up and it's like, yeah, I'm all for the Empire. That I thought was legit funny, and I thought that like moment was kind of cool. Everything about Obi-Wan is portrayed that he's dumb, he's old, he doesn't fucking matter, and what matters is Reva. Motherfuckers don't die. Inquisitor gets stabbed. Huh, I guess you forgot I had a second stomach. Get the fuck out of here, man. And then, to put like the icing on the cake, genuinely like one of the worst scenes I've ever seen in my life. I've been saying that like, oh my god, man, there's so many bad shows. One of the worst things I've ever seen in Star Wars was the scene where Obi-Wan's on the Imperial base. Oh my god, there's 2. I'm getting PTSD flashbacks, man. When Obi-Wan hits the stormtrooper, the lights are off, it literally bounces off him like a bat. He literally, boom, boom. He double hits with a saber because the first one hit him like it's a baseball bat. We didn't see that in post? No one caught that? Okay. Sure. Maybe it didn't get enough budgeting. Oh, what's that? 60 million? 80 million? Huh, interesting. Guess we missed it in post, guys. And then, the same fucking episode, they're escaping a red alert, high alert Imperial base, which doesn't have a defense system, because you'd be stupid to fucking invade the Inquisitor temple in the middle of the ocean. You'd be stupid. That's why the defenses are down, guys. It's on red alert. They're trying to escape. Everyone's trying to find an intruder. Intruder alert. Intruder alert. They're in the hangar bay with probably 1,000 troopers, and Obi-Wan's just got Leia tucked under the jacket. 4 fucking legs waddling by while whispering to a fucking officer. and no one was just like, hey, I don't remember an officer having 8 legs. I don't or 4 legs. I don't remember that. Hey, is why is that guy's right leg so thick? That's a little off. Maybe he just never skipped leg day. Are we serious? Who wrote that? Whoever wrote that, I hope your next Christmas is ruined, bro. Genuinely. It hurts me to say that, man. God, it fucking... Jesus Christ, man. So bad. And it just ruined such a good character. Like, Obi-Wan, the show could have not existed. And Obi-Wan would have... He still has one of the most auras. But the show does nothing but, like, taint his aura. And it just introduces characters nobody's gonna give a fuck about. Reva, get out of here. Moving on. Before I get more PTSD and I get more flashbacks, we're gonna go to Skeleton Crew. And you know what? It's at the bottom of good. Dude, Skeleton Crew's not bad. Skeleton Crew above Rebels is kind of wild now that I'm looking at this. Dude, Skeleton Crew above Mando? Do I really rate it that high? Outside of 2 mediocre episodes, Skeleton Crew legit got some... It's got some good things, man. It's short like that. And it did the thing I was suggesting. Star Wars, if you're going to milk it, because it was always going to be milked, like the cash cow it is, at least have new interesting ideas. I don't need another show about a Jedi and apprentice, unless it's somebody who's cool. But if you're gonna have, like, oh, there's other Jedis, like people surviving Order 66 and everything like that, having one where a guy had a master and it was killed off early in his training during Order 66, so he grew up sort of needing to find ways to survive, and him basically being a bounty hunter, I think that is sick. Being like a pirate leader, that is fucking cool. Having the, like, Pirates of the Caribbean Star Wars mix and Skeleton Crew, I thought was sick. Now, obviously, it's catered towards kids, and there's a lot of, like, not great dialogues in it. I think it's entertaining for a broad audience, because it has some goofy jokes, and it has interesting galaxy building, I guess. You get to see different planets, you get to see different areas, you get to see how places function. It's almost like a vault situation from Fallout, with how Skeleton Crew's operated. I think that's cool. Like, I get it. It's a kid show. I get it. It's gonna be something no one fucking remembers. SK3, by the way, one of the better droids of the franchise. I ain't never heard of no Atin before. One of the sickest fucking droids. And I'll stand on that. I put that homie above my boy C3PO any day of the week on G. I put that above Chopper any day of the week. The ending exists. It presents, like, opportunities for different directions. I don't mind it for the show. This is season 1 we're talking about. Might get season 2, I doubt it. But it's genuinely, like, not that bad. You know? Got some cringe dialogue, got some decisions that don't make a ton of sense. I don't know, just, it hit that sort of, I don't know if it was like it hit that nostalgia nerve or what, but it felt like I was watching a mix between Spy Kids, Pirates of the Caribbean, and, like, Fallout, but with a Star Wars theme. Like, it felt like it fit all 4 of those into one show, and it did it really, really well. Now, when they went to that other planet that had those other kids in the other tribe, that was, like, bad. That whole arc was terrible. Outside of those, though, what is that, like, two of the 8? Outside of those, I thought the rest of them were pretty good. You know? I thought they were pretty good. Yeah, I thought it was sick. And having, like, the bounty hunter thing, that was cool. Having him literally just murk the other pirate lord as well, that was sick. Him needing to be free. Dude, there was a lot of good moments. You know, I really think it's kind of a gem in that it did so many great things that won't ever get appreciated. And we might be looking, like, 10 years down the road, and people will be thinking, like, dude, do you remember Skeleton Crew? And it'll be like one of those things where now I'm chatting with some of the boys from the 2000s, and I'm like, yo, you remember watching Spy Kids as a kid? Dude, that was sick. You remember Shark Boy Lava Girl? Yeah, they were terrible films, but dude, as a kid, that shit was awesome. You know? Dream, 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 dream. Anyways, we move on. I don't know why my Borderlands 2 screenshot of me getting a Thunderball Fist world drop from the bunker is here, but it's here. Ooh, we come down to the two heavy hitters. This is it. This is it. This is the final round. I already got Tales of the Underworld here. This is a duplicate. Dude, it comes down to the two heavy hitters. You know what? We're gonna switch this. We're gonna put Book of Boba Fett not good. I will put these not. Dude, there's so many bad shows. Yeah, yeah. I like this better. I like this better. I like this better. Comes down to the two heavy hitters. And this comes down to this comes down to two major fucking players in the game here. And if you're curious, it's between Andor and Clone Wars. Which one's the greatest? I did start this video saying I'm a big Maul guy. I love Darth Maul. Favorite Star Wars character, favorite Sith, favorite lightsaber wielder. All of those categories. Bing, bang, boom. Hits all of them. Bingo. Alright? My number one Star Wars show, because it's going to be obvious what the other one's not going to be number one. The number one Star Wars show, in my opinion, is Andor. I think it's the greatest Star Wars show of all time. And it sucks that it's going to be such a slept-on show for two reasons. Our episode-long shows, I think, are slowly falling off, and people are realizing that's a heavy commitment. And two, it's a spin-off show off a spin-off character from a spin-off movie from the main franchise. It's a spin-off of a spin-off based off a spin-off from the main show. It's Spinception. But that being said, the first time I watched season 1, I got 2 episodes deep, and I was like, this shit's boring. Don't care. Where's my lightsaber? Fuck this. Left it. Dropped it in the dust. And I was like, yeah, I'm just not watching Star Wars. I think I watched a few other things. I think then I watched Rebels, and then I was like, yeah, I'm just done. Came back in 2025 because of season 2. I was like, okay, we'll rewatch it. We'll see what season 1's like. Rewatched it. I don't think I felt as excited each episode from a Star Wars show since season 7 of the Clone Wars. And this shit means something to me, man. Every episode, I was legit invested. Now, to be fair, the first time I watched it, because they were hour-long episodes, I had it on a side monitor. I think I was playing Ark or something at the time. I was playing some grindy-ass game, and I was just like, dude, this is boring. Why the fuck am I watching this? Wasn't really paying attention. When I did pay attention, it had me hook, line, and sinker. Genuinely, every night, I was like, dude, I was at work. I'm like, dude, I can't wait to watch Andor when I get home. Oh, man. Dude, what's going to happen? He's training with the Rebels now. Oh, who the fuck is this Luthen character? This character's sick. Oh, he just got the hyperdrive thing. Oh, shit, they just got found out. I had to pause because my bus was coming. Like, dude, I have not felt that for a while. And that was just season 1. Season 2. If season 1 is like a 9 out of 10, you know, season 2 is perfect. There is no other way I think you could have done season 2. I think season 2 is a masterpiece. And what if I was the lead of Star Wars? Leslie just got kicked out. Get the fuck out of here. Whatever her name is. Lead of Disney Star Wars. If I was just promoted, the first fucking thing I'm doing is I'm putting Andor, a poster of it, in the office. And every single time someone walks in to work here, I'm showing them this poster, and I'm saying, this is what we strive for. This is what we work to be. Every fucking day you enter this office. That's what I'm doing. Okay? This shit means something to me, man. Season 2, oh my god, I can't tell you the amount of dopamine I felt every episode. I was on cloud 9. I don't do drugs. I don't drink alcohol. This type of shit is why I don't. Because I got Andor in my life. On everything I love, I mean that. Oh, God. That shit, like, oh my god, man. Dedra Miro and fucking her little side piece, can't remember his name off the top of my head. Just great dynamic, great characters. You had Andor actually fuck Cassian, just actually do shit. Sick. All just the highlight reels you can get from him being a bounty hunter, being like, just one more job, and we're done. You know, them trying to escape the Empire. The beginning of the season was probably like its weakest. After like episode 1, the show's just like perfect. It genuinely is. You know, the dynamic between Dedra Miro and her side piece, I thought was amazing. How he's like working, but she's not really telling her what's going on, and she's the boss in the relationship, and she's like, you know, you gotta do these things for me. She gets let in on the Death Star. The Death Star reveal sort of had like one of the least ground shattering moments, but Krennic, oh my god, man, he got bitched in the Rogue One movie. He got bitched pretty bad by Vader, and it's kind of like, damn, this guy's just like an NPC. Dude, in Andor, he felt like the big bad. He felt like who I think Krennic was supposed to feel like in Rogue One before Vader showed up. And it hit everything perfectly. The rebellion, the resistance, the betrayals, the propaganda going on, the politic aspect. I'm not a political guy, big Canadian guy over here. All right, we live in the big great North. Okay, but I thought the politics part were great. I thought the Mon Mothma stuff was crazy good. I thought the Luthen parts were, oh my god, the Luthen parts were so fucking good. I have a big stickler in my shows when I see backstories and random backstories. Andor, outside of the first season, where that's sort of where it gets lost points for me, I really didn't like just the forced backstory in random episodes. In season 2, it just hit a different level. Every time they did a backstory or like a recap or something, I was like, dude, this is how you do it. The prison scene in season 1 does a lot of carrying for season 1. I genuinely think, biases aside, resume for resume, band for band, Andor is the greatest Star Wars show of all time, and Clone Wars is second best. And I say that high and mighty, okay? I say that high and mighty. I love Clone Wars. Maul is my favorite character, one of my favorite arcs. You have the Mortis arc. You have Gungan Grievous. You have Grievous in general doing some really cool things with his quotes with, I think when he smokes Eth Koth. I think that's his name. I could be wrong on that one. Kit Fisto, Grievous's Lair, one of the greatest episodes. Rookies, one of the greatest episodes. Inhibitor chips, great plot line in my opinion. I'm a big inhibitor chip believer. You know, I'm that side, if that makes sense. 501st Squad, fucking Wax and Boil, the Geonosian bug arc thing, the betrayals with Barriss Offrey, Anakin slowly losing his fucking patience with the Jedi. You see everything you need to see in Clone Wars, and it does everything so well. There are some stinker arcs. The Blue Shadow Virus is ass. The Gungan, I don't remember what the species is called, but the Gungan arc where Jar Jar's got a wife, it's cool for that, but it got like too Indiana Jones-esque, and we're like in a temple, and people are fucking dying. Like, what the fuck is going on? There's weird shit going on with that, and Mother Talzin, that whole situation. Savage Opresslo, sick. You had one of the invasions of Dathomir, sick. Dude, there's so many great fucking moments in the Clone Wars, and I don't want to take any steam away from it. It's still one of the greats, and it will always hold a special spot in my heart, be one of my favorite shows of all time. I think if I am being unbiased, Andor, quality-wise, is maybe the best show I've ever watched. And I've watched a lot of shows. I haven't watched a crazy amount of shows. You know, like I haven't watched Breaking Bad, but I've watched like The Walking Dead, I've watched Peaky Blinders, I've watched Vikings, I've watched I think it's called I don't think it's called Ragnarok. There's another show I've watched. A lot of animes I've watched too. Andor I put above all of them. Just being honest. Especially if we're talking live action shows. But yeah, that is my ranking of the Star Wars shows as of 2026, the very beginning of 2026. Rumored, we are getting Ahsoka Season 2. We are getting a Starfire show. We are getting Mandalorian Grogu movie in May. We are getting Maul Shadow Lord. That is what the rumors are right now, currently for this year. I will probably update this list at a later date, probably at the end of the year, moving into 2027. What a weird era. 2027. Never thought I'd say those words. But yeah, no, I'm very comfortable with this. Andor number 1, Clone Wars second best. But if we're talking GOAT, 1 of 1, I can only watch one show the rest of my life. As much as I love the Clone Wars, Andor's just that. It's just him at the end of the day. But yeah, that's where I rank all the shows. Like I said, there's some that I didn't really watch, like these Tales of the Jedi or Young Jedi Adventures, whatever the fuck they're called, and the Resistance. Why are you watching that? Just saying. It's big 2026. Come on now, grow up. Hashtag not my Star Wars for shows that are so disgustingly bad that I don't even consider it canon towards the main plot. And when I'm thinking of storylines, Acolyte and the Obi-Wan show don't fucking exist in my canon lore. All right, I have the ability to remove it from memory in terms of the main universe, and that's what's happening there. This is my legends right here, the shit legends, the myths that should be forgotten. But yeah, then we have the great shows, good shows. I mean, it's all right shows, and then the not good being Book of Boba Fett. These are the rankings. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with this. Let me know if you disagree with any of my picks. This video has been very long, so if you made it all the way to the end, big thank you to you. You powered through a lot. But yeah, this is my official rankings. Maybe comment down below your 1 of 1 video or your 1 of 1 show if you made it to the end. Big shout out to you, man. An hour and 20 minutes. Hey, committed to the game. Appreciate you. But yeah, this has been my list. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. And as always, I hope you have a good day.